Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Australian Poetry Hall of Fame. I'm Thundercloud. Mum calls me James. Sky calls me Thundercloud. Hi, Sky. Hey, Gabriel. Welcome to everybody out there tonight. We are missing in action again. He is recovering still, feeling a little bit woozy, and we can't wait to welcome him back. So, on the beginning of the show, we always acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we broadcast, the Camilla and Banbai people, and acknowledge sovereignty's never been ceded. All right, let's move on. I've got tonight. I'll be reading from a book called Cafarella, published by Five Islands Press, written by Stephen Herrick, who is one of our children's authors who's written 28 children's books. This one was published in 1990 and it's only just come into the possession of the Australian Poetry Hall of Fame. And before I start, next Tuesday night we've got our Australian Poetry Slam workshop here, and that's at 6:30 p.m. And the Wednesday night we've got the heat as well of the Australian Poetry Slam. So get your slam on, read the rules, check out the website. I've put the rules up there on the Australian Poetry Hall of Fame Facebook page, so you can refer to them as well, but you can also get them on the Australian Poetry Slam website as well. Word travels. All right, that's really exciting. And you can also, we're open for submissions for the Australian Bush Poetry Film Festival at the moment too. So if you've got a bush poem and you'd like to turn into a film, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be yours. It could be anyone's, as long as you've got permission. If you do, and you're a filmmaker, go for it. Filmfreeway.com. Check out the Australian Bush Poetry Film Festival. All right, I'm going to start with one that I've written this week, 6 days ago, being Leaf. Leaf clung to the branch, refusing to let go. It had been there for many years and beholding the seasons change and the world going below by it. But now the wind was calling to it, urging it to let go and join the great adventure and fly. Leaf took a deep breath, then let go. It spiraled through the air, swirling and twirling like a feather in the wind. It felt the sun on its back and the wind in its trichomes. And it knew this was the beginning of a fabulous journey. Leaf flew through the air and landed in a stream. It floated over rocks and around bends, past trees and bushes. It saw fish swimming in water and birds flying overhead. It felt the excitement of the unknown and knew that anything was possible. One day, Leaf came to a waterfall. It watched as the water cascaded over the edge, and then it was swept over the falls too. Leaf tumbled and splashed, but it did not get hurt. It just kept going, carried by the current. Leaf floated for many days until it finally reached the sea. It was tossed and turned by the waves, but it never gave up. It kept going until finally it washed upon the sand of the shore. Leaf lay upon the beach, exhausted but alive. It had seen so much on its journey. It had learned so much about itself. It was no longer the same leaf that had clung to the branch upon the mountaintop. It was a leaf that had seen the world, and it was a leaf that was ready to go home. The wind picked up Leaf and carried it back to the mountain. Leaf landed upon the same branch where it had started its journey. It took a deep breath. It was home. Leaf looked out at the view from the mountaintop and it smiled. Well, if it could, if it had a mouth. It had learned a lot on its journey, but it had also learned that home is the best place to be. Leaf closed its eyes and let the wind carry it to sleep. It dreamed of its journey, and it dreamed of the day it would go on another adventure. Belief. That's just,
Believe.
yeah, that's cute. And that's all I can say. That's the most cutest thing I could ever write. That's so funny. Yeah. Yeah. That's my Hemingway moment. Yeah, writing for 12-year-olds, 6-year-olds maybe. All right, now I'm on to this one here, Five Islands Press. Now, yeah, a friend of Unine's donated these books, and she had a whole lot of these Five Islands Press books, and the cool thing about this one is that it's not even folded, and it hasn't even really been read or opened like so many poetry books that I get donated here, even really old ones. Some people buy poetry books and don't read them or get given them, or who knows, I don't know. But they should open them because they're really interesting. Yeah. Now, the Guyra Pool Hall, I read it last night, but it's, look, if you're from Brisbane and you're my age or a bit older, you might know the Guyra Pool Hall, and it's cool. The Guyra Pool Hall was an attic, 2 flights up. Italian men with nicotine fingers and beery breath offered me, a 14-year-old jig in school, 20-cent bets on 8 ball. I'd play them and rack up a few dollars. They were too drunk to be any good. Except one guy, old Juno, who could barely hold the cue. He took forever to walk around the table, but I never beat him. I'd lose every cent gratefully to watch how softly he moved those balls around the felt. He'd sway as he watched every ball drop, gently, inevitably. As we played, he'd ramble about his boarding house and his wife dead of cancer 10 years past. I'd talk to him about school, and together we'd play pool all afternoon. At the end, he'd buy me smokes and a drink. I'd leave sure I'd learnt more in a game of pool than a whole day in school. So the Guyra Pool. That's by Stephen Herrick here in the book Caboolture by Five Islands Press, published in 1990. Now the other one I'm going to read to you, here we go, Christmas at Bondi. So if you're a Sydney sider and thinking of Christmas at Bondi in the 1980s, this is for you.
Land of the Bondi cigars.
Yeah, okay. It was the night before Christmas. The Italians, leaning on abusive Holdens, worship Madonna on ghetto blasters' flat strap. They gun V8s and shout ill-conceived promises across the park to the 2 girls cycling down Campbell Parade. These girls hear the remarks and think of days spent endlessly on city building sites, who, for lunch, sit either side of the footpath, a gauntlet of bare chests and bravado. That's akin to a punch in the face. The girls ride behind 4 tourist buses, unloading another consignment of camera-toting Japanese tourists who, with the barrier of language, think the Italian boy's cute, but know better than to point the camera that way. When the sun sets, couples start walking the foreshore, as if on cue, leaving the waves to board riders and the hard sand to joggers intent on the headland and back in 10 minutes. The beach becomes a minefield to fortune hunters. My friend calls mental defectives with metal detectors. He's been angry at Bondi since catching the perfect wave body surfing, only to surface with a condom stuck to his shoulder. He says it's not the reason he moved out, it's just he's just too old to believe in paradise anymore. I'm having none of this as I count the cholesterol of every chip drowned in vinegar I eat. An old man approaches, accompanied by a dog. He's bribed for the night with a stick. They seem content. I ask him the time. The dog smiles. He says, Christmas. And they walk off towards Bronte. Yeah. Yeah, Christmas. There's one more that I am going to do here. And this is called Caboolture. There were three of us on a scratch of highway heading west. Sally, tanned and wet with midday sweat, sank her teeth into an orange and sang along with the country radio. Her mother called her a slop bucket, and she was never setting foot in that house again. Me and Jack wanted to go to Goondiwindi. The name, the way it say it, Goondiwindi. Goondiwindi. It wasn't romantic, it wasn't hostile, it said heat, flies, catalogues snapping at postman's heels, and a pub on every corner. It was a long way from home. At 16, we dodged highway cops and sank beer in the sun, blazed through the windscreen. Kangaroos silhouetted in paddocks stood on hind legs boxing style. Black cockatoos squawked the daylight away as we hit town. Goondiwindi, Goondiwindi. The first pub had an iron lace railing, and a publican with the face of a half-squashed Foster's. We ordered 3 beers and sat on the veranda. Sally leaned over the railing and shouted, Goondiwindi! to the town, and then turned to us and said, What's the name of the next town? Boggabella. Boggabella? It's in the way you say it. Like, let's go there tomorrow. And like this, we travelled the state of Queensland. We hated that name, Queensland. What did it mean? What could you do with that? Why not Goondiwindi or Boggabella or our favourite, Caboolture? Only we could say it right. Caboolture. 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 Yeah, I can say it right. I know. I lived on the Sunshine Coast. Yeah. Caboolture. Right, okay, so that's that. Now, I'm really liking this. I'm going to do one more. Cheryl's pregnant. This one's Cheryl's pregnant.
Cheryl's pregnant.
Rat came in this morning, said he's going to be a dad. Cheryl's pregnant. They're going to call the little bugger Mouse, he jokes. Cheryl's pregnant. And Dole check's always late. So now he's a counter check regular. And they've got no place to live. They sneak into friends' boarding houses after dark and sleep on the floor among the ashtrays and bottles. The cops keep hassling Rat about dope and stolen goods. Cheryl's parents don't give a shit about her. Cheryl doesn't even want the bloody kid. I asked Rat, what's the hell is it all about then? And he says, his best mate Mark's got his girl pregnant. And so they thought it was sort of a good idea to both be dads together. Like how both their dads went off to war and fought together. And I say, what about Cheryl? And he says, yep, she's pregnant. All right. So now I've got one more. If this couple come in, can you direct them to that table, please, Sky, when they come in? Thank you very much. So I've got another one of my own here. And this is like the most nationalistic thing I could ever think of writing. It's most unlike me, but I figured, like, what the hell, why not? Why not do something nationalistic? It worked for, like, Dorothea McKellar. It worked for Les Murray. And just because I wrote it doesn't mean I believe in it. It's about Australian tenacity. I have changed it substantially.
Is this one for the Matildas, is it?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. Who?
Our soccer team. Our girls' soccer team.
Yeah.
World Cup.
Here we go. Australian tenacity. In the heart of the southern land, where wild and free they stand. Is that accent all right? It sounds all right, like a bush poem. Yeah, okay. A spirit bold, both young and old, shaped by the rugged hand. Australia's tenacity, a tale of history. For in its vast expanse they dance with destiny. A harsh and trying climate they faced with fortitude. The early settlers, bold and brave, a tenacious attitude. To thrive upon this foreign shore, resilience they'd employ, and in the face of hardship, they found their will to buoy. The Australian bush, a realm of extremes where nature's force they test. With summers hot and winters cold, their courage they'd invest. Unforgiving yet alluring land of freedom rare, with daring hearts and souls aflame, they ventured far and near. In sporting fields, a spirit fierce, a love for games they show. Aussies known for grit and might, in victories and woe. Not shying from the challenge, they rise to seize the day. From cricket's ashes to glory to yachts in grand display. To have a go. To have a go in their life, they'd strive with dreams and hopes ablaze, embracing failures as they come, through trial and error's haze. A melting pot of talents from near and distant lands, together they united stand with hearts and open hands. Their national pride, a beacon bright, a bond that runs so deep, through struggles faced and triumphs won, a legacy they'll keep. In every corner of the land, from shore to sunburnt plain, this tenacity, a lasting flame, and anthem's proud refrain. Immigrants from land afar, a tapestry they weave, a diverse strength that intertwines the nation to achieve. Egalitarian ethos where opportunity shines, a platform for the bold at heart, a chance for dreams to climb. With tenacity and having a go, they've built a nation grand. From challenges they've learned and grown as one united band. So raise a cheer for Aussie hearts, for in their spirits glow, they've forged a path, a legacy, a story yet to show. In history's annals, they'll stand tall with courage as their guide. With tenacity and willingness, they'll meet the world's high tide. The Aussie spirit, strong and true, a powerful force to know, for in their hearts a fire burns forever. They will grow. That was the most, just watch out for the camera there. That was the most,
Where is it, George?
right behind you. Yeah. Okay, are you ready to come on up there?
Yeah, I can do mine.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sorry, we have to organise kids and adults and dogs.
We are recording at the moment too.
Yeah, okay.
Hi everybody. I haven't written anything new this week, but I've been looking at what I have done over the last year or so and thinking, who's my unconscious influence? Because I know who I like. Of the classicals, I really like Shelley, but he's not really influenced me at all. The one who's influenced me most isn't even an English speaker, it's Yevtushenko. So I've found a few of those to read out, and three of my own that resonate with his stuff, but not directly. Now, one of the ones, I'll start off with one of mine, and since there are children in the room, and this is about swearing, instead of using the words, I'm just going to use the initials, and then everybody will be all right. Okay? So this one was called Swearing In, Swearing Out. Respect what the commandment says. Don't take the name in vain. It was quite clear in former days which words would cause folk pain. Slowly word taboos transform. We wake to find one sunny morn new taboos that have been born. Once R, B, F, S, C were words you must not utter. Now, and these are the ones that I'm going to do the initials of, these are all racial. N, W, different W, Y, G, C. Mark you as from the gutter. I wonder as we look ahead if, now I'm going to say these words because they're all right, if cancer, coronary, stroke and dead will be the swear words that we dread. Interesting navigation. Now some Yevtushenko, and I've chosen these to illustrate how he conjures up mood. They're all about a page, like all four of them. Here's the first. It's called Lies. Telling lies to the young is wrong. Proving to them that lies are true is wrong. Telling them that God's in his heaven and all's well with the world is wrong. The young know what you mean, the young are people. Tell them the difficulties can't be counted, and let them see not only what will be, but see with clarity these present times. Say obstacles exist, they must encounter. Sorrow happens, hardship happens, the hell with it. Who never knew the price of happiness will not be happy. Forgive no error you recognise, it'll repeat itself, increase. And afterwards our pupils will not forgive in us what we forgave. That's kind of prophetic. 50 years back. Now, another one of mine, the other one of mine for tonight. I wrote this relatively recently, like 3 months ago, and it was an elegy for the old jive that people as old as me used to do to rock and roll before the twist came in. And very weird, because I've been watching TV on and off in the last month, and it's coming back. Something I never ever dreamt could possibly happen. I've seen American shows, British shows, Aussie shows, and it's got people of various ages dancing in the old-fashioned jive way. So my regret over its death was premature, but whoever thought it'd be resurrected? I don't know why it has been. Anyway, this was it. It's called Jive's Elegy. Thanks Jane Fonda, Jacko too, for giving us dance aerobics. What once was fun became hard work, like art reduced to comics. Ironic when Travolta went from Night Fever to Grease. Dance spontaneity spent, narcissism's release. But chief among the dance killers, the Cassius Clay-blessed wrecker, a Samson pulling down Jive's pillars. Check out fat, chubby checker. It should be on the poisons list, the ugly, gross gyration. The so-called dance, known as the twist, infected every nation. Watch any rock clip and reflect how first teenagers found the speed, the strength, the genuflate, jive jumping over, under, round. No quasi-military drill, no gymnasium light, just fast and neat true rock and roll made us like to dance all night. Step and twirl, each boy and girl, sewing out their soul. Until they laid on us the twist, which overcame our jive, jiving quit the dancing list, quite dead by 65. It's crap to be a boomer baby, and dream of nights long vanished, when to rock dance was, well maybe, to make all sadness briefly vanished. So, that's a weird thing.
What the oldest call is gyration? Eldest used to rock his hips side to side.
Yeah, well, well, you put your finger on it. The film Elvis has been so successful that this revival of jive may have come in its wake.
Yeah.
It could be that. That's good. That's perceptive. Okay, here's another Yevtushenko. It's called Schoolmaster. The window gives out onto the white trees. The master looks out of it at the trees. For a long time he looks, for a long time. Out through the window at the trees, breaking his chalk slowly in one hand. And it's only the rules of long division. And he's forgotten the rules of long division. Imagine not remembering long division. A mistake on the blackboard, a mistake. We watch him with a different attention, needing no one to hint to us about it. There's more than difference in this attention. The schoolmaster's wife has gone away. We do not know where she's gone to. We do not know why she has gone. What we know is his wife has gone away. His clothes are neither new nor in the fashion, wearing the suit which he always wears, and which is neither new nor in the fashion. The master goes downstairs to the cloakroom. He fumbles in his pocket for a ticket. What's the matter? Where is that ticket? Perhaps I never picked up my ticket. Where is the thing? Rubbing his forehead. Ah, here it is. I'm getting old. Don't argue, Auntie dear, I am getting old. You can't do much about getting old. We hear the door below, creaking behind him. The window gives onto the white trees. The trees there are high and wonderful, but they're not why we are looking out. We look in silence at the schoolmaster. He's got a bent back and a clumsy walk. He moves without defences, clumsily. Worn out, I ought to have said, clumsily. Snow falling on him softly through silence turns him to white under the white trees. He whitens into white like the trees. A little longer will make him so white we shall not see him in the whitened trees. Invocation of mood. Now, he indirectly inspired something around 20 years ago when I was visiting Durban in South Africa, and I met a girl that I'd been corresponding with who was a friend of another friend, and she was sort of hosting me around the town, and we sort of got together for the night, sort of, and this is about the sort of. And this is called a matter of focus. I see in your eyes a child by some glistening rain anointed, gazing out as if beguiled, inwards, never disappointed, disengaged from mundane friction. What inner story so enthralling you don't hear your soulmate calling? Is he fact or only fiction? Secrets deep beneath your smile slide out from your soul to haunt me. Misty shapes beside the Nile whisper just too low to taunt me. Then I see you in my mind, beside me, lying silent, sleeping. Pose that almost has me weeping, kind of cruel to be so kind. See you next time.
Well, thank you, Gabriel. Gabriel Donleavy, everyone. Welcome to everyone else who's come in over the last 15 minutes. Now, so on that, it's an open mic poetry night, so I just want to know who wants to get up. I know Saul. Yes, 1, 2, yeah.
Jeff book.
Yeah.
Do you know Jeff?
I don't know Jeff, no, but if you're going to read something from it.
Yeah.
Good. Anyone else? Someone else? No, it doesn't matter. You don't have to. That's the thing. You're welcome to just watch. Yeah. You watching? You're watching Sky. All right. Okay. Well, it looks like I'll just hold the show together with. What do you want? The ballad about back Jim or Stone?
Stone.
Thank you very much. Yeah, the first person. That's how democracy doesn't work. Hey, it's Australia. We don't have a democracy. It's representative, isn't it? That's not actually representative. Yeah. Stone. Now, yeah, the funny thing about this was after I wrote this one, I went outside and took a photo of the lovely big rock that's sitting out there. You want to see the rock? There it is. There's the rock. See? There's the rock.
Yeah.
Is it a rock or is it a stone?
Oh well, as I said, stone because stones come from rock. It's yeah.
Everybody go get Stone.
Stone.
That's another option.
Sat in the sun, wind and rain, silently contemplating why it felt no pain. Wondered why it was grey, not pink. Then thought, I have no brain and can't think. I'm here in the frost, the heat and the snow, I'm a stone. I don't eat and I don't grow. There's grass all about, there's birds and bees. I'm a stone in a paddock, I don't get fleas. One day, I might move and go for a roll, but for now I'm sitting here in a hole. If I had ears, I might like rock music. But I don't, and I think life's confusing if you have choices, you must decide. But I don't, as I'm a stone on a mountainside. Don't care about up, left, right or down. I have no eyes and I can't see around. I'm androgenic, sexless, no pussy or cock. As a stone, I can't even make a little baby rock. Oh, well. Yeah, I don't know if he was angry or not, but it ended up that way at the end, didn't it? Androgenic. Yeah, that's the word, isn't it? That's how you say it. All right, well, so, George.
Oh, okay.
Okay, welcome up. you'll have to tell us about the poet, the
Yes.
name and everybody and everything. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I don't normally do this. It's been a couple of years, and so I thought I'd just do something random and out of this little volume from Jeff Prince, and it's called "The Signs and the Seeking of Sanity," and perhaps there's a bit of genius in being insane. Is that true?
Oh
Yeah, most definitely.
Oh, I hope so.
And what makes me feel better is I'm forever being told there's a fine line between insanity and genius. So I'll go with that.
Yeah, okay.
A little bit of both.
We'll see how we go with this one. See if it makes any sense or whether it's insane. You tell me. Where did I put it? Whoops. It was the one I was looking for. I'll do this one. To steer toward a healthy and true clairvoyance is difficult on an empty and complaining stomach. That's why we had dinner before we came. But to meditate on a belly full of woe only makes matters worse. That's it.
Yeah, well, that's it, isn't it?
Okay, well, we're going to dissect.
That's what stones are good
What
for,
way would you do it?
dwelling upon it.
Yes, that's right.
I'll do another one. This is about sanity as well. If you came to know the power of my sanity, you might easier befriend my madness. If you came to know the strength of my wellness, you might easier welcome my illness. So here's to all the invisible seekers carrying rallying torches of criminal kindness.
Criminal
I'm not
kindness.
quite sure what it means, but anyway.
That's
I
right.
really like it.
That's what that's.
Not true kindness.
Yeah,
Yeah, criminal
yeah,
kindness.
You can't have one thing without having its opposite in there somewhere.
The equilibrium must always be found.
Alright, well, this is full of insanity. Here's another one. Years in which we learnt and taught to be at home in the underworld of the mentally ill. Must be talking about himself. Years in which we tested our madness against the contradictions of an insane world of poverty and suffering. Years in which our self-pity was shed, and in the poetry of blood and a love of sound became compassion. That's that one. I like that one because it's talking about a personal insanity, but let's compare that against the insanity of the world. Which one is more insane? That's one to think about.
Who's the best guitar player in the world?
Sorry?
Who knows?
Yeah. Anyway, one more. Well, I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be random.
Page 79, right-hand side.
Whoops. Hang on.
Hey, you said random, come on.
Yeah,
Too many choices.
Yeah.
Well, here's a shorty. Language has a mind of its own, just as the mind has a language of its own. That's it.
Language is mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, language is an interesting one. I've got a quote from somewhere else which says, language was invented in order to stifle communication.
Yeah, it's a slow,
We
it's
can
an
probably
entrapment.
communicate better without opening our mouths. Yeah. Isn't that true?
Yeah.
Well, so many studies have said like
There you go.
70% of their communication is not in the language.
One Bunjalung, along that line, one Bunjalung saying goes, when it was spoken, it was broken.
Yeah.
When you sing, the ears ring, and this is the healing. And a lot of First Nations languages were spoken, so they sung. So they actually sung to each other as they spoke. Yeah.
The vibration.
The English has a really good cadence to it too, which lends itself to rhythmic and rhymed and measured poetry too. So here we've got one. I've got one for you. What have I got for you? Oh, look, the sea. It's wet, wild, calm and free. Nature's elder, also child, the source of life, the sea. That's a little short one. Creatives make shit up. And yes, we have strange ideas, like putting lipstick on a pup while cycling in a whale's ears. Creatives think of things and put ideas into action. Now with flying things with wings, strange ideas take traction. Creatives, well, they create most everything you see. From ideas they generate, minds unconstrained and free.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Everything you see was created by someone in the whole world. Yeah, thought someone thunk it up.
Made it happen.
That's what we're here to do, create stuff. And why there's so much mental illness when people stop creating.
Yeah.
And one more for you before I invite Saul up. The ballad about Back Jim. Why not? Another Australian one that I wrote this week. In the heart of the sunburnt land, where red dust danced upon the sand, lived a man of true blue grit, a legend born. Outback Jim was it. With his hat upon his head he roamed the land, both far and wide, from coast to plains a bushman true, in every step a dream pursued. His father's tales around the fire of pioneers and bushmen's desire ignited in young Jim's bold heart, a thirst for life, a world to chart. He learned to track and read the skies, a master of the outback's eyes. He treaded softly, left no trace, respected nature's sacred grace. In times of drought, when hope ran dry, Jim saw the creatures' tearful eyes. He heard the land's deep silent plea and vowed to set the outback free. A map he found, an ancient tale of water's source, a holy grail. The land's salvation it foretold, a secret spring of liquid gold. He braved the storms and searing heat. With every step his heart did beat. Through sun-baked plains and desert wild he journeyed like a daring child. He met the tribes, both the old and wise. They taught him truths beyond the skies. Their ancient knowledge he embraced, a bond with land and culture laced. Finally, he found the prize. The sacred oasis met his eyes. With canteen full he hurried back to mend the land that felt the lack. He poured the water on the earth and witnessed nature's wondrous birth. The land transformed, a vibrant hue as life returned, the skies turned blue. News of Jim's brave quest spread wide, his deeds became the nation's pride, a legend born forever told, in banjos, ballads, strong and bold, with every campfire's gentle glow, the tale of Jim would ebb and flow, a symbol of the outback's might, a beacon in the starry night. So raise a toast to Outback Jim, the bushman bold, a hero's hymn. In every heart his legend stays, a spirit free in bushland's ways. That's I don't know. I'm kind of like, that's corny, really. But anyway, it works. I like it works as a story, yeah. It's a really Australian ad, you know. It's like,
That was
yeah, it was alright. I'm happy, very happy with that one. Yeah. Like I'm happy with Stone too. Now, Saul, Cafarella. Sorry?
Monotonic gold. That's the liquid was.
what he found.
No, he found water.
Water.
Oh, the source. Yeah, the source. Yeah.
In the desert.
In the desert. Yeah.
Oh, just because we've been on that like change it for a couple of weeks. Yeah, don't worry.
Because like the sky.
This
Yeah.
is actually caught up.
Howdy,
Okay.
ladies and gentle spoons. Okay, I just got a couple of things. There's been a Stone poem, so I thought a little Stone haiku that I've got, and it's, there is that moment, Stone gets washed into the sea, time waits for no one.
That's what happened to your stone.
Yeah. Now, the other one about sort of, here's a little bit of insanity for you. Okay. My non-existence surprises me because it feels like I'm really here. Questions with no answers? Don't ask, don't get disappointed. Maybe it's you, conjured by my non-existent mind, who is not here, whose fragrance and taste and touch and tone infiltrate between my non-existent ears.
Very good.
Now here's another little love ditty kind of thing. This is, the human condition where we're so into success and knowledge and, being right and all that sort of stuff. This is just a little sort of a turn around on that. And I better put my glasses on because it's my own writing.
In your previous life as a doctor.
So, yeah, should have done it for the last one. Okay. So, life so full of tribulations, the library full of explanations. But if a pigeon read a book, how much different would its life look? Rising up above adversity, the pigeon rose and rose and rose and rose, until one day all its wisdom fell away. From high above it spotted its true love. Enough of books and highfalutin, I'd much rather spend my day reading. So down he flew, no books today. With my pigeon love, I just want to play. We go in this one, last one here I've got for you. It's sort of a song, so I'll do it not as a song, but sort of a little bit jizzed up, And this is one of the great dilemmas of the human condition and life on Earth at the moment. So it's worth a bit of a put out there. Goes. The tree of life has many branches, ours should be near the top. But when we learned, we chose the axe and we taught ourselves to chop. As years went by, we pruned and trimmed, diversity was shrunk. Look at us now, we've got the chainsaw and we're taking out the trunk. Oh, tell me, please. Tell me, is it wise to bring this planet to its knees? Driven to extinction by hunger, fear and lust. Let's not kill the future like we've killed in the past. But you say it's okay, they're still here today, so you shove it in your sack. But don't you cry one dark night when you want it back. One by one makes up a ton. It's way more than you need. Then one day you find it's gone. Gone for cash and greed. So tell me, please. Tell me, is it wise to bring this planet to its knees? Driven to extinction by hunger, fear and lust. Let's not kill the future like we've killed in the past. And that's it for me tonight.
I'm back. Alrighty-o, I've got a flying giraffe. He's coming up. Now, any more takers? Forever hold your peace. No, okay. Look, I've got only a couple left, but I am because there's some young people. I'll finish off with a special growing humans one about the flying giraffe. So that will be later on in a couple. But for now, this one was written a couple of hours ago, sitting over there. It's just a challenge to myself. I don't want to get in the way of myself. So I challenge my own change for my good health. Sit in the sun and absorb the light, push myself to sit here and take a break and write. I don't want to waste away and get weak, so I'll make adjustments to become my peak, to do what must be done that I don't like. And many times, needing a preemptive strike. I don't want to be old, stiff and unfit, so I take one step plus one and improve a bit, be flexy, agile, balanced and stretch. There ain't no way I'll be a whiny old wretch. I don't want to be old and sick. Yoga, weights and nutritious food do the trick. Running, jumping, dancing and gym to remain youthful, agile, strong, flexible and trim. Yeah, that was just something that I wrote while I was sitting in the sun. And this is the persistence of memory. Does anyone know where I get that title from?
Dali.
Thank you very much. Yes. Salvador Dali's, one of his most famous paintings is called The Persistence of Memory, and I've just got it here in Google, and it's so I'll show the people at home first, the melting clocks one.
Oh yeah.
So that's his most famous.
Absolutely.
Yeah, famous one. And so this poem is basically, it's based on that. It is that, the persistence of memory. I wanted to write something surreal, and I thought, well, if I just describe Dali's painting, what more surreal do you get?
Very postmodern of you.
Yeah, of course. In a realm where dreams hold sway, Dali's canvas comes to play. The persistence of memory is seen untold, where surreal wonders and time unfold. As I was 12 melting watches, malleable and strange, draped over tree and formed, arranged, solid and fluid, their existence a riddle. Time's rigidity here starts to fiddle. The desolate land, a shore unknown, barren and rocky, a world of its own, stretching to the horizon, a canvas vast where surreal fantasies dance and contrast. Creature draped on rocky ground, morphing forms in beauty found in organic boundaries blur, surreal transformation, the mind's whisper. A profile face emerges near, Dali's own visage appears distorted, elongated in a self in flux. Surreal transformation, reality bucks. Clocks in the distance near the sea's embrace, time's unravelling. Across space, scattered like stars, surreal and sublime, a continuum of light defying rhyme. Well, not really, because I've just rhymed it all, haven't I? Well, that doesn't work. Oh, well, shit. Dreamlike, a warm embrace illuminates the surreal space. Ethereal glow, a soft allure, surreal dreamscape, thoughts impure. No humans tread this realm surreal. Absence creates a dreamy feel, forms interact, transform in thought. The canvas speaks, a world begot in Dali's realm of the mind's domain. Surreal is the language, the refrain. Wonders woven, time's fabric spun. The persistence of memory, surreal's own son. Yeah. Got my head spinning there. But it's a good painting to draw from. Yeah. So yeah, that's that. I'm happy with that one. And the final one, which I'm going to do this standing up without instructions or reading. Do you want music?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right.
Give me a beat.
Right.
Word.
Alright, let's get music. Okay. So this one, Julius Giraffe, Julius the Flying Giraffe, was written for my son in, 2018, when that book was written. See if I can find in my library, going to my instrumentals here. Actually, there will be. All right. This backing track is by Syndrome, and it's a chill, smooth guitar rap beat, higher production. Syndrome, new 2018. So well, Julius Giraffe was often found trying to lift himself up off the ground, because Julius Giraffe had a dream of flying. He never gave up hope or gave up trying. Julius Giraffe wanted to fly, so he plotted, planned, calculated and applied, but no matter how much he flapped his legs around, Julius Giraffe never got off the ground. Julius Giraffe decided to see if he'd fly like a bird, if he jumped from a tree, but Julius Giraffe wasn't a goat. His chance of climbing a tree was quite remote. The baboon yelled out, "Julius, giraffes can't fly, no matter how much you try and try. Julius Giraffe, you're tall and grand and can see far and wide across this here land. Your skinny giraffe legs aren't built for flying. Give up on your dream before you die. Trying a giraffe isn't a bird. It isn't a fish, nor is it a bacteria in a lab petri dish. Julius Giraffe, you're tall and grand, you can see far and wide across this land." Julius Giraffe wasn't looking out, didn't see the poachers lurking about. Well, next thing he knew, Julius woke up in a cage on the back of a poacher's truck. Well, he cried for his family and the baboon and the rain on the plain. During the monsoon, he was stolen from Africa, taken away, put in an aeroplane, and he flew that day. The moral of the story, get this, be very, very careful and discerning for what you wish. The plane suffered engine failure, went into a dive. The pilot bailed out. He wanted to stay alive. What's going to happen? Well, Julius Giraffe was in luck. He found the last parachute. Well, he wingsuited down. He flew through the air, glided with birds. He did a loop, and his voice was heard yelling, "I'm a flying giraffe! I'm in the fly sky! Fantastic, amazing! I'm a giraffe who can fly!" Well, he landed beside the baboon and the tree. "I didn't give up hope in my dream, and I flew free. It was unexpected. I didn't have to try. I never gave up hope, and I got to fly because I never gave up on my hopes and my dreams. They came true in the most unexpected way. It seems I'm a flying giraffe. I didn't die. My dreams all came true. I flew in the sky. I said, Julius, the flying giraffe. Well, he flew through the air, yeah, he glided with birds, he did a little loop, and his voice was heard yelling, I'm a flying giraffe! I'm in the sky! Fantastic, amazing! I can fly in the sky! Said Julius, the flying giraffe. So that one, yeah, that was written for my son. Luca, hey Lou, how are ya? That's what he'd say. How are ya? Yeah, just like that. The same voice, sounds the same actually. How are ya? All right. Well, we're done for the night. I think I might even have one more left in here that I haven't read out for that I've written this week. It's a new one for you. Have I got a new one? Yes, I do. One to go. There's one more that I haven't read out yet. Oh, yes. Gripes. What a lot of tripe. Constantly gripe. Creating hype to have a snipe, just wipe, unripe and swipe. Time is ripe. I think I'll go have a pipe. Good night. All right, well, thank you very much, everyone, for coming tonight, and thank you out there in YouTube land. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed and you want to stay updated to what's on here at the Australian Poetry Hall of Fame. I'll leave the links for what's happening here in the description, and we'll see you next week for Wednesday Words. Thank you very much.